Hello, my name's Jenny and I've been teaching English for over 20 years. My favourite thing about teaching English is helping learners improve their pronunciation so that they feel confident when they're speaking and listening. In this video, I'm going to show you how to use the Say It English Pronunciation app to improve your pronunciation. When you understand English sounds better, you'll feel more comfortable with speaking and listening. Say It makes pronunciation easier to learn by making it visual, and research shows that using a sound wave to see a visual form of your speech, like the one in Say It, can improve your accuracy by 20% after just 1 hour of training. So let's get started. The app opens into the lookup screen, which is where you can search for words to practice. Type a word into the search bar and then tap it to open.
Advise.
When you practice a word, you'll see the spelling at the top of the screen and then the International Phonetic Alphabet spelling arranged into syllable blocks directly underneath. So this word, advise, has 2 syllables, and we can see from the green colour on the second block that it's the second syllable that's stressed.
Advise.
And you can tap those syllable blocks to hear the phonemes which are in each of those syllables. The stress placement in English isn't regular, so seeing the stressed syllable clearly here is really helpful, and getting that stress right in the word makes it much easier for people to understand you. To hear the whole word, just tap the yellow play button on the left.
Advise.
And you can also drag your finger over this Oxford model sound wave to slow it down and hear how the sounds in a word blend together. Let's try that.
Advise.
Okay, so you can see there's a yellow marker in the middle of this word, and that's showing you where the stressed syllable starts. So the sounds in that second stressed syllable are in this part of the word.
Advise.
Great. So when you record yourself, just tap the yellow microphone button and say the word. Advise. If you're using an Android phone, you might need to tap the microphone button a second time to stop the recording as well. And then you can play your recording back or use your finger to slow it down and analyse it in detail compared to the model. Advise. Advise. Once you've made your recording, look at the phases of the waveform and see whether your pronunciation is similar to the model. Does it have the same shapes overall? In particular, focus on any stressed syllables. Have you made them a bit longer and a bit louder, a bit more prominent than the other syllables? And have you pronounced the vowels correctly, particularly in those stressed syllables? You can re-record yourself as many times as you like. Most learners make at least 5 recordings before they're happy that their pronunciation is a good match to the model, and this is all great practice. The more times you repeat and refine your pronunciation, the clearer it will be. When you've made the best recording that you can, rate yourself by tapping the stars underneath the sound wave. We've talked about syllables and how important it is to stress the right ones. Now, let's move on to spelling and sounds in English. English spelling is not always a good guide to the sounds that you need to say in a word, and that can make pronunciation really challenging. But Say It makes it easier to understand and copy the sounds that you need to say a word clearly in English, even when the spelling is complicated. Take a word like through. If you've been learning English for a while, you probably already know that the letters O, U, G, H can be pronounced in a few different ways, so it's not easy to guess how to say this word. But by looking at the phonetic alphabet spelling in Say It, you can see that we actually only need 3 sounds to produce this word clearly. Let's have a listen.
Oo.
So you can check those sounds or phonemes by tapping that syllable block, and you can also drag your finger over the sound wave to hear how the sounds blend together in the word. And this is a great way to train your ears to focus on the sounds in a word and help your brain understand that spelling often doesn't correspond to the pronunciation in English. There are 2 golden rules of pronunciation I always tell my students. First, check how many syllables there are in a word and make any stressed syllables a bit longer and a bit louder. And second, focus on learning the sounds or phonemes in a word rather than trying to guess the pronunciation from how it's spelled. Say It will help you with both of those fundamental elements of pronunciation. And with a bit of practice using the app, you'll be feeling much more confident about your English speaking in no time. Why not start by practicing advise and through, and then have a go with the words in this list?